Welcome to the Andrea Engstrom Show. I'm passionate about helping you break through to your next level of abundance, success, and freedom so that you can create the life you desire and inspire others to do the same. I'm your host, Andrea Engstrom, and on today's show, we're going to talk about how to end the year strong. How do you finish 2023 in power and strength and clarity and confidence and all the things that you want for your life? So a lot of us going into the holidays will feel like, well, it's the end of the year, so I guess like if I didn't hit my goals yet, it's not going to happen. But I want to encourage you today to let go of the mindset that it's too late, because there are so many things that you can do to create momentum for yourself going into 2024. So, anytime we're at the end of a year, you can create momentum going into the new year by finishing the year in the state of intention that you really want your next year to feel like, right? And so, I want you to think about and do some reflecting over this last year. What were some things that you set intention around? I was on a call last night with some of my mastermind sisters, and one of the gals in my group that I've been meeting with for a couple of years pulled up a list of all the words that we had selected for ourselves going into this year. And one of the words that I chose for myself it's probably not what you guys are going to think I'm going to say, because y'all hear me talk about my affirmations and you're like, maybe it's being bold, maybe it's being tenacious or having integrity, or one of those words that I talk about a lot. Well, my word for this year that I set as an intention for the beginning of the year is actually fun. I wanted to have more fun this year. I feel like when I started my real estate investing business, and then got into coaching and recruiting and doing different things, that I was in such a hustle and a grind that, and especially coming out of COVID, like we had stopped traveling. It felt like there was never enough funds to do all the things that we wanted to do. We were putting all of our money into real estate. And so we kind of got into this almost a scarcity mentality when it comes to doing fun things or things that were not necessary, like travel. And we love to travel. We love to have experiences. And we've always said in our marriage, my husband and I, Josiah, we've always said experiences over stuff. But over the last few years, we've been in such an acquisition mode when it comes to properties and things like that, that it felt like we were not honoring that for a period of time. And COVID gave us a reason to kind of hunker down and put our heads down and just be in that mode of like, tomorrow's not promised. Let's make sure that we kind of, gather our resources. We don't know what's going to happen. And so we weren't booking trips. We weren't doing the things that we would normally do to have fun. And so at the beginning of this year, I said, let's have more fun. And I don't know if you've watched, if you've been following what I've been doing on Facebook, or I've been sharing some videos and some pictures from recent travel that we've done. But over the last 3 months, we have maybe three to 5 months, we have traveled more than we have over the past 3 years combined. And so I looked back and I went, oh, we've had a lot more fun this year. I did a lot of other things to move towards my goals. I launched Bold Mastermind. I launched a couple of coaching programs that I've got going that I'm so excited about, and that you hear about all the time when I'm sharing about what I'm doing. But the things that were really important to me is making sure that we as a family were prioritizing fun. And we just got back from a trip this last weekend. We took a cruise to the Bahamas, just my husband and I, and a few of the sisters from my Bold Women in Business Sisterhood group, a couple of women from my mastermind group that I've been meeting with for years. We decided to book a trip, and we went to the Bahamas on a Royal Caribbean cruise, it was just fabulous. Like, we had such a great time, saw some beautiful things, went kayaking in the ocean, did not get eaten by a shark. Thank you, Jesus. But we had a great time, and it really delivered on my goal and my intention to have more fun this year. I've done a lot of things that I was really excited about, but I have to tell you, if I look back at the goals that I set for myself in my business this year, I did not hit all of them. And so going into this next few weeks, I'm thinking about what can I do to set myself up for success moving into the new year? What can I do to set myself up to reach my health goals, my energy goals, my spiritual goals? What do I need to be doing moving into these next few weeks to take care of my mental health and my spirit and to really create that momentum going into the new year? And so I made a list and I wanted to share some things with you because as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and as a person, one of the most important things that you can do, the gift that you can give yourself is to be decisive. Be decisive. Some of us look at our goals and we say, wow, I spent a whole year gathering the information, doing all the research, weighing my options and trying to make a decision about what to do next. And here I am at the end of the year and I didn't do what I really wanted to do. And so right now, I'm going to challenge you between now and the end of this year to do some of the things that you want to do with decisiveness. Book the trip. You don't have to go on the trip before the end of the year, but if you set an intention to have more fun or to do some, set a goal to travel with your family or with your spouse or with some friends or to do something cool, look into the calendar for next year and set a date. Book that trip. Schedule a launch. Maybe you're launching a business. Maybe you're a coach like I am, and you're getting ready to launch a new thing. Schedule the launch. If you're going to do a workshop, schedule that workshop. If you had an intention to get something under contract by a certain date and it didn't happen yet, now is a great time to make deals. We're kind of coming to the end of the year. And if you're a real estate investor like me, things start to slow down. And so it's actually a great time to find a deal or to help somebody that's, struggling through a challenging time. You can make a cash offer, but get it under contract, make the offer. It is not too late to make something happen this year. For some of you, you've been thinking about where you want to live in the world. You set a goal. And if you said, okay, my perfect 10 life, I would be living in this place. And that place is across the country or it's a different country. And I want to encourage you that sometimes we put barriers in our mind in doing those things that we want to do because we're like, well, first I have to find the perfect house. First I have to sell the house that I'm in. First I have to do all of these things. But guess what? It can look however you want it to look. Remember, you forge your own path. So if you want to live in a different place than you live now, find something to rent and get it, sign a lease, get a new lease in place so that you can move where you want to live. Sell your house or rent it out, right? There's so many options, but we put ourselves in this little box saying it has to go a certain way. You can do whatever you want to do. The other thing I want to encourage you to do in being decisive is purge the things that don't serve you. Some of you are going into a season where you're going to get some gifts. Your kids are going to get a bunch of gifts and you're going to have a whole bunch of new crap filling up your house. And so I want to encourage you before that happens to get rid of the old crap. Purge the things that don't serve you today. Maybe you are working on a life and a business that is very different than what your old life used to look like, but you're still carrying around physical objects and emotional baggage that is not serving you and where you want to go. What got you here will not get you there. And so I want to encourage you to let go of things that are not serving you. And for some of you, that means you need to purge your calendar. You need to cancel meetings that you don't want to go to. If you don't need to be in that meeting and it's somebody else's agenda for you and it doesn't move you towards your goals, cancel that meeting. Book the meetings you want to have. Make an appointment with yourself to do things that fill you with energy or that move you towards your goals, and then let them know that you got double booked. You got double booked and you're so sorry, but you have to bow out of that thing that you had committed to. A lot of us spend way too much of our life trying to make sure that we don't upset other people. And it's about people pleasing and it's about trying to make sure that other people are happy. But guess what I've learned? When we spend our time trying to make sure that we are not upsetting other people around us, trying to make sure other people are as happy as possible. We're actually trying to control their emotions. I want you to hear that well, because I know I have a lot of people pleasers like myself, recovering people pleasers, who are listening to this today. And your calendar for the next few weeks going into the holidays is filled with stuff that is to make other people happy. And some of those things are self-imposed. You're the one who scheduled it, trying to make people happy, trying to get people together. And it's great to spend time with family and to prioritize those things. But if you got invited to a party that you don't want to go to, guess what? You don't have to go. If you are supposed to be volunteering and doing something that is a good thing, but it is not a great thing that moves you towards your goals or that fills you with energy, I want to encourage you that you don't have to do things that you don't want to do. We spend way time and energy trying to make other people around us happy. And guess what? That is not your job. It is not your job to make sure that everybody around you is comfortable and happy. Sometimes we need to let other people step in and do hard things. We need to let our kids do hard things. We need to let our spouses do hard things sometimes. And it serves them better when we allow them to the discomfort of having to do a hard thing. And so I want to encourage you today, cancel the things that you don't want to go to. Book the meetings that you want to have. Schedule the time with yourself. Book an appointment with yourself to do the things that you really want to do. Block time on your calendar to do what you intend to do. Make yourself a good list. I get overwhelmed when I got too many things swimming around in my head. And that's why I use my supercharged to-do list. And if you're in my Bold Women in Business Sisterhood, search for a post where I offer to send that to you and let me know that you'd like a copy of it, because it'll help you get organized, get the things out of your head and to prioritize them. But block the time to do what you intend to do. And for some of you, your goals this year were not about business. Your goals were not just about business. They were about your health, your mental health, your spiritual fitness, your physical health. Maybe you intended to get on an exercise routine. You intended to start eating clean, maybe intermittent fasting, doing your daily rituals. Guess what? It is not too late to end the year the way you started the year with intentions to do so. It is not too late to put the powerful habits in place that you would like to have going into the new year. And it will give you so much courage and momentum and confidence that if you start the year having already put some of those powerful habits in place, you're going to feel more confident taking action in the new year. You're going to feel better physically going into all of those holiday parties and family gatherings and things like that if you can fit into the pants that you wanted to wear to that event, right? If you've got the energy to handle sometimes emotionally draining family members because you got your head on straight. You've been working on your physical and your spiritual fitness. So take that time for yourself. Sometimes that means we got to wake up a little bit earlier, right? Sometimes that means we need to just be intentional and not just open our social media when we sit down with our coffee in the morning, but instead to open our journal, to open a book that we need to read, to fill our minds with good, positive thinking. Some of you set an intention to start reading the Bible or to do quiet time every day. Guess what? You got a few weeks left this year. You can do it now, and you can still say that in 2023, you created a powerful habit. And you can carry that into the new year. You can do this. So today, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to take bold action. Now, when I am feeling like there's a whole bunch of things that I can't do, it's like, oh, there's only 3 weeks left in the year. I can't do this. I can't do that. We're so busy, blah, 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 right? When I feel a little powerless, I do something really special that I want to encourage you to do as well. And I came up with this idea from the Serenity Prayer, which is something that I say on a regular basis as part of my sobriety journey. And it goes like this. It says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now, most of the things that I cannot change are other people, the environment or circumstances around me that have to do with things outside of my control. Also, I can't change the fact that there's only a few weeks left in this year, but I can decide how I'm going to spend that time. I can decide who I'm going to surround myself with, how early I'm going to wake up in the morning, what I'm going to eat when I wake up, or how long I'm going to wait to start eating when I wake up. I can exercise. I can book an appointment with the person that I've been procrastinating on booking an appointment with. Even if that appointment's for after the first of the year, it's still on my calendar and I can take the action to get it in motion. Another thing that you can do, and I want to encourage a lot of you listening today, is that you need to be making powerful connections in your life and in your business. And if you look at how many friends you have right now on Facebook, and many of you are connected with me because you're on Facebook, so I know this applies to you. But some of you are out hanging out there with 300 friends on Facebook. Guess what? Facebook allows you to have 5,000 friends. And if you are trying to build a business that you know requires for you to have powerful connections in your life, then I want to encourage you that in the next 3 weeks, this is my challenge to you. This is one of the things that you can do. Friend 1,000 people on Facebook. Facebook does this thing where they suggest friends, people that you have friends in common with. Make connections proactively by taking Facebook's suggestions. And you could, instead of having 300 friends this year or even 3,000, you could have 1,300 or 4,000 friends, depending on how many friends you have today. You could exponentially grow the number of connections that you have so that when you start off this next year and you are needing a partner on a project, or you are launching something that you want to share with people in your network, or you're looking for referrals for a certain kind of connection, you're looking for someone to partner with you on a deal, or to help you know how to find a contractor, or to refer people to come to a workshop that you're hosting, whatever it is that you're trying to do in your business, having more connections is going to be the most important thing that you can do to make that happen. Think about what you want to do this coming year. What are your goals? What were your goals for this year? And would having more connections have made it more possible? Would it have been helpful to you to have more connections in order to make the things happen that you want to do? And the answer is probably, right? So for some of you, that means you're going to put yourself outside your comfort zone a little bit. We're going to ask you to be bold and reach out and make powerful connections. Most of you are part of the Bold Women in Business Sisterhood. If you're not, I'm going to invite you to join us in that group. It is a free network of other women. This is a powerful way to make connections. So this is how we're taking bold action. Make a list of what you can do. What are the things that you can do between now and the end of the year? And I'm not saying make a long to-do list that is going to make you feel more overwhelmed. But for some of you, there's a few things you can do that is going to set you on a path for powerful, positive, personal habits going into this new year. And you can finish the year strong, having put those goals for the habits that you wanted to create in 2023. You can make those real before the end of this year by starting today. Make a list of what you can do, decide what you will do, and then do it. Set your alarm a little earlier tomorrow. Block time on your calendar to take the suggestions from Facebook and add people as friends. Invite people to be your friend on Facebook, right? Make the connections. Call the person that you've been putting off calling that you should be having a referrals conversation with, and ask if they can meet with you the second week of January. Right? They'll be so relieved that you didn't ask for a meeting before the end of the year. Or maybe they'll say, hey, I'm actually free tomorrow. What are you doing? Right? Put yourself out there and actually reach out to people to make those connections. Whatever it is that you need to do to move your business forward, usually the things on the list take minutes, not hours. And so I want you to think about what are some things you can do to create momentum. You don't need hours and hours or weeks and weeks of time that are just setting you in motion and giving you a jump start for the new year. And for some of you, you're going to be joining me for a goal setting workshop. Some of you are needing to set goals yet for 2024. And I want to encourage you to join me on one of my upcoming workshops. You can register for free at AndreaEngstrom.com. One of the first things I do with any woman who joins one of my programs, and what I talk about in my workshops, is to set powerful goals. That is one of the things that we do together. I want to support you on your journey to grow your business. And so I want to encourage you to register for my workshop for women entrepreneurs at AndreaEngstrom.com. And I mentioned this earlier, but if you are a woman entrepreneur, you can join my free Facebook group, Bold Women in Business Sisterhood, where I share strategies for clarity, confidence, and powerful connections so that you can build the business and the life that you deserve. All right, there's one last thing that I want to talk about today. And this is for my sisters who are listening, who are going into this time of year and you are feeling a little dark. And if you just said, yeah, that's me, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I mean, your anxiety is increasing, your depression, you may be struggling to do some even normal things, because you're thinking about who is not going to be at the holidays this year. I spoke with my Bold Women Business Sisterhood group this morning, and there were multiple women who said, this is going to be my first Christmas without my husband. God, it breaks my heart. Or I lost my dad, 2 days before Christmas 2 years ago. Oh, this is a tough time of year for some of you. And I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that as a sisterhood, we are here to support you. And when you feel helpless, the very best thing you can do is to get helpful. Find another sister who is also struggling and be of service. See if you can encourage them in some way. Sometimes we just need to talk. And if you are in a place where you feel like you're going a little bit dark, look for someone else that you can help. Look for someone else that you can give an encouraging word to. And I promise you that when you encourage someone else, you will feel encouraged. And that means to give courage. When you give courage to others, you receive courage for yourself. And for some of you, going into these next few weeks is going to require for you to be of courage, for you to be bold, just to get yourself out of bed. And if that's you listening, I want you to know I see you, I love you, and I'm so, so honored that you're listening to me today, because I am here to encourage and empower and support you to create the life you desire. And for some of you, the life you desire is very simply just to be able to put both feet on the floor again today. And I want you to know that this is for you. I want you to make a list of what you can do. And if today that's take a shower, that's what you can do. But take care of your spirit. Listen to things that fill you with energy, that fill your cup back up before you try to go give to other people, and cook a big meal for for your family or whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing this year. I want you to take time to fill your spirit, to fill your own cup up before you try to pour for other people. And one of the ways that I fill my cup up is being encouraging to others in very simple ways, with an encouraging word. And with an I love you, with a sister, you got this, right? And that doesn't require cooking a big old meal for a whole bunch of people. It just requires you sending them a message on Facebook. And maybe one of those people that you connect with on Facebook, one of those people that Facebook suggests as a friend to you, that there is a divine appointment for you to become their friend and for you to be able to encourage them. Because maybe they accept your friend request and they post something hard and you're like, girl, I've been there. And they're like, where have you, I'm so glad to have connected with you. Thank you for that. And so maybe there's a divine appointment out there for you, but I promise you that if you will just get both feet on the floor, that there's a big, beautiful world that is out here, and people that love you. And I am one of those people. And so be of courage, fill your cup so that you can spread that joy around a little bit, but finish this year strong. You can do this. You can do this. Just one step in front of the other. You can do this. Do yourself the favor, give yourself the gift of journaling today, of having a quiet time. When we finish this podcast, I want you to stop and pray and ask God to show you what should be on your, what should be on your list for the rest of this year that you need to prioritize, and ask what needs to come off your calendar. What do you need to say no to in order to take care of your spirit and to make time to connect with God and to do the things and create the habits that are really important for you? All right, sisters, I love you. I see you. I am so glad that you are here today. Thank you for listening. And I will see you in the Bold Women in Business Sisterhood. Come find me there on Facebook.